Wonderful. So, welcome. So, this is Mary Jo, and I am live on YouTube and via Zoom. And I'm so grateful to be here in this first official Breath Coherence Circle with me, myself, and I, my heart, my body, my breath, my beingness. And it feels so good to be here, to be anchored in this moment, to be with all of me, all of the I am that I am, as soul, as oversoul, as source monadic breath, grounding all the way down through the chakras, the upper chakras and energy centers, all the way down through those lower chakras, down into the root, anchoring. I come to you, I come to my own breath as a breath anchor. And through these circles, I am resonating and inviting and you into to entrain into anchoring into your own breath, to anchor your breath, anchoring into your own embodiment, your own awareness as a felt sense of breath moving through the body with ease, with recognition, with sophistication, as an intelligence that is life, an intelligence that is right here for us, that moves through us to allow for life to express through us. Life-giving breath. Breathe the breath in and exhale out the tensions, the uncertainties, the overwhelm. Let it go on the breath. The old fights, the old conflicts. Breathing in, a softening into this moment, into this breath. Unpressured, unrushed. And allowing the breath to be with, to bring presence to bring bandwidth to, a capacity to be with uncomfortable feelings, uncomfortable thoughts, those parts of self that are fearful, those parts of self that are reluctant, those parts of self that are stuck in survival patterning. We breathe with those parts of self now, those aspects of self, those energies, those frequencies of self that hold a tighter bandwidth of consciousness. And that tighter bandwidth of consciousness sees through the perception, the memory of separation, of unrecognized or unhealed or unacknowledged trauma patterns, or the pain of not feeling fully met in your sweetness and your softness and your innocence. And so developing, in order to survive, developing the armor of protection, the patterns of survival to strengthen and buffer, to be strong in a world that was, you needed to be strong in a very physical way, in a very mentalized way of intellect, needing to understand, to be understood. So I sit here with one of my own core wounds, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of sharing my true, authentic innocence and essence, and having that not work out so well in my humanity, having that not be met with celebration and joy and warmth. And today I invite myself and whoever resonates to bring that pattern from the place of separation and survival and hesitation and hiding and self-erasure, to try to protect that deeply sensitive aspect of self that truly is the divine spark, the divine light within us, the innocence of a baby before we got told how to be a human, or we developed, or we learned how to survive, whether it was through the self-preservation of a more narcissistic tendency or the empathic nature of surviving through people-pleasing, through trying to help and heal the external world. We breathe with that now. I breathe with that now. Those aspects of self. As I mirror this to those of you who will resonate with this transmission, with this breath transmission that not only carries the oxygen, the life force energy, but carries the frequency as tone, as resonance, as emanation, that bypasses the intellect, the need for understanding, and speaks to the heart, to the nervous system, to the soul, to the cells. And giving some words as a bit of context for the intellect. However, the words are not so important. Just supportive for that layer of how we translate our humanity, translate our experience, to allow the softening, so the mind can trust and can go, okay, I don't need to manage this here. I don't need to defend. I don't need to figure out how to survive this moment. It's safe to relax. It's safe to breathe. It's safe to be here in this experience without having to narrate it or manage it or control it, which is controlling ourselves ultimately. So we thank it. We thank that part of ourselves that has got us to here, that has helped us navigate what we needed to navigate. That part is not wrong, it's not broken. It was a survival patterning. It was a developmental stage of our humanity to explore what was to be explored through the veils and the perceptions and the compartmentalizations of breaking things apart into separation, like Newtonian science has done with the physical body. But now, through the breath is like the holistic conductor that weaves these aspects, these energies back in together. So nothing is truly lost. Nothing has been wasted. Every experience, as we reintegrate it, as we call it home into coherence, through our breath, through our presence, through allowing ourselves to be here now and to come home to the heart, to the soul, to the higher self, to the oversoul, to God, to the greater field of consciousness that moves through our breath, that emanates our body as a field of energy that beats our heart, and our heart then sends out that pulsation and signals to the rest of the body and all the different systems and to the brain. And you may be aware there's more nerves and neurons in the heart than the brain. And there's the vagus nerve that sends more information to the brain from the gut. So we have many brains: the brain, the heart brain, the gut brain. And we have the alignment of these three brains on that more physical level and then energetic level through our energy centers. And as I do this, I'm spiraling that energy through those energy centers called chakras or energy wheels. The upper energy centers tend to be more to do with our soul, our intuition, our authentic expression, our heart energy, our higher self, the universe. And the lower chakras tend to be connected to our very human lives, how we're living on the human realm. So it can be connected to survival, free will, or at least the sense of free will, what choices we're making, how we're navigating. And if we're very anchored in those lower chakras and disconnected or imbalanced with the upper chakras, we can feel very isolated and separated in our ego identities and feel alone and isolated. So breathing with those aspects of self that have felt alone and isolated. You may feel that in the belly, in the gut, as a sensation. So noticing what you notice as we move through this, through breath and sensation. Exhale out. Letting it go, letting it be. You are safe here. Repeat to yourself, I am safe here. Hand on heart, hand on belly. I am safe in my own energy field. I am safe within my own breath. I am safe as I anchor more coherence into my energy field. and remember more of my wholeness, and release the striving, soften the surviving patterns of hustle and pressure and not enough, and even allowing the seeker to relax. Again, all of that got us to where we are, so we thank all these aspects of self. The hero's journey of moving into separation, experiencing whatever traumas and challenges that we experienced, feeling separate from our source, feeling unworthy, not enough or too much, living the dualities of life, where parts of us was welcomed into our humanity while other parts were pushed aside and were rejected, felt unsafe, and they got shrouded in this ickiness of shame, the shame that said it's not okay to be who I truly am. I've got to function like others, to seek out, to get my needs met, the love, the food, the warmth, the acceptance, the approval. So breathing with all of that now as we shine the light of our consciousness upon this buffet of our life experiences. And we invite those parts of ourselves gently to come back, to be re-recognized into the light, and to dissolve that layer of shame for aspects of self that have not felt welcomed in this realm of our humanity. And through the patriarchal age, that has been quite severe on the feminine wisdom, the feminine energy of gentleness and softness and genuine kindness, without agenda, without what's in it for me, without control. And remembering that we all have the feminine and the masculine. You could call the feminine the right brain, left side of the body. The masculine, the left brain, right side of the body. So when I say the feminine, talking about the intuitive, the sensitive, the creative, the flowing, the impractical, the spontaneous, the impulsive, the connected into the depth, the deep waters of life, the deep waters of consciousness that remembers the soul. So with so much happening external, the invitation is to come back internal, to come back and to reconnect with that depth of the self, that essence, that innocence again, and to heal what has created the crevice of separation within us, that has kept parts feeling isolated, unwelcomed to the party of our own consciousness, to our own humanity. Yoga helps with this, meditation, anything, or go for a run, anything that helps the breath to move more freely through the body, supports more relaxation, more calm. Exhaling out the dissonance, which is the friction the push and the pull, the yes and the no, the parts of self that want to share, want to express, and then the parts that say, no, it's not safe, or no, people will judge you, or no, it feels too icky, because it's those parts remember the shame, or being shamed, or being humiliated. Those memories are there. So with each breath, we are truly setting ourselves free and anchoring a deeper resonance, in training to a deeper resonance field of our awareness as consciousness expressing through energy that's formulated through our humanity, through our DNA, through our biology, through our chemistry, through the physics, through the quantum field. And that breath. That beautiful breath. Abundant, you see, already free, waiting for us to remember it, waiting for us to allow ourselves to receive the breath and to release it freely, to hold on to nothing. Let it all just come back into flow. What has been held in the dam of our humanity, or emotions that have been repressed, suppressed, denied, or voice that has been repressed, suppressed, denied, held back, to keep the peace, to not stand out of the crowd, to not rock the apple cart, to avoid the discomfort of being judged or shamed or blamed or ostracized or burnt at the stake. Or rejected, uncared for, not having one's needs met. Those memories, we allow all of that to be here now as we bring those aspects of self, those memories that have been held in the field. That's why when we get triggered in the present moment, and it's not about the present moment. It's about memories in the field, going back yesterday, last week, a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, childhood, in the womb, ancestral memories, imprints, other lifetimes. And as we expand our consciousness and our awareness into other realms and dimensions, and also through this is also the way of consciousness to get to know, who am I? Who am I? By discovering who I am not. By having the experience of separation and compartmentalization, just like Newtonian science. It broke everything apart in the body to learn about the body, down into the cells, into the biology, into the chemistry, the hormones, the nervous system, the neural pathways, the gut, the microbiome, the minerals, the vitamins, all these components of health and well-being, right? And then the mental, embracing the mental, the mind-body connection now, the power of our thoughts as a frequency, as a chemistry even in our bodies. And then emotions. Now we're realizing the energies of our emotions, how thoughts affect emotions, how emotions affect thoughts and stories. We're also becoming aware of how that can loop. It can loop in our system. So we get caught in emotional stories, in mental stories, in karmic stories. And now we're being invited to become aware, to become the awareness of what has been lived through and to bring those memories that had been held in the field of duality, polarity, belief systems, perceptions, from separation. Think of the Newtonian physics, Newtonian science. And now holistically, through this conductor of the breath coherent circle that we are saying yes to, we are collaborating with, we are ready as a heart, as a soul, as an inner being called into. There's a resonance that's calling us to go, oh, I'm done with the conflict within myself. I'm done with the mental masturbation into self-criticism, or being harsh, or trying to be an overachiever, or avoid being judged, or not allowing myself to rest because of guilt and shame. I'm tired of these patterns. I'm tired of the emotional looping of not feeling okay, not feeling good enough, not feeling too much, the self-doubt, the self-sabotage, the avoidance patterns, or the anxious attachment patterns from parts of self that just haven't felt safe to be truly seen, haven't felt safe to be truly heard, haven't felt safe to really anchor our soul's light into embodiment, into those lower chakras, to really ground it into embodiment. And to keep the connection now. That's the opportunity that we're in, to, as we reharmonize all these aspects of self, we're bridging the gaps in the energy that was holding things apart, that was creating that sense of dissonance, of conflict, of push and pull. Yes, I trust. No, I don't. One part of self saying, yes, trust the heart, but then the nervous system screaming, I'm not safe. And now we get to say, I am safe. I am safe. I am here. I am ready. I am trust. I am coherence. And I breathe it into the field. I breathe it into the field. I emanate a more and more coherent field, a harmonic field that resonates with ease, with grace, with trust, with support, with love, with friendliness, with kindness, with coherence. That we're in this together. All of me is on board with all of me. All of me is welcome here. I breathe it into my field, and as I breathe it into my body, into my cells, into my field, I'm inviting more and more energy to come home into this inner sanctuary of remembrance. I am safe. I am a safe energy. I align my energies through breath, through resonance, repatterning, reprogramming, if you like, into this remembrance of wholeness and holiness, so that the inner sanctuary becomes a safe place to truly rest, to truly be present with, to express from the inner sanctuary, the inner temple of the heart, of the soul, of the godness from which we have been each an expression from, or source, if you don't like, change the word from God to source, an expression of source, Isn't that right, Tui? Yeah. Yeah. Here's an expression of source. Beautiful, Tui. The animal realms and the plant realms. And when we remember and when we soften the harsh judgments within self, we soften those harsh judgments that we project onto each other, and we heal the parts of self that got fragmented, forgotten, and learned that they had to fight for the right to survive. They had to work hard. They had to earn love. They had to earn God's grace. They had to earn the approval of society, parents, the educational system, whatever it may be, a partner. And now we give that to ourselves. Self-approval, self-acceptance, yes, self-love, self-kindness, self-likability, self-trust, coming into the trust with who we were before we entered this body as a consciousness, as a soul, and who we'll be when we transition this embodiment, this physicality, this vessel. This beautiful vessel, just like we take care of our cars, or maybe you take care of your animals, we take that much care of this earthly temple as the human body. We reclaim it in sacredness, sacred visibility. We reclaim those parts of self that were shrouded in shame to come forward now in sacred visibility. And it begins with each one of us declaring and reclaiming. I reclaim all parts of myself. Speak it with me now. If this resonates for you, speak it with yourself. Let your cells hear this declaration, this reclamation statement, this mantra. I reclaim all parts of self that had been rejected and shamed through the veils of separation. I call you forward now to be recognized in the light of my consciousness, light of awareness, that you are safe. You are safe to come home with each breath. Breath of coherence, breath of remembrance, breath of truth, truth that is felt, truth that is allowed to move through the cells, the spaces between the cells and the spaces between the spaces, into the auric field, into the earth beneath us, emanating into this earth human realm as a multidimensional being, as a multidimensional presence. Breathe into that and exhaling out whatever's ready just to be released now, to be let go into the field. No holding on needed, no figuring out needed, no earning this. Your existence is enough. Your existence is enough proof to be worthy and deserving to reclaim yourself in breath coherence, to reclaim all aspects of yourself, your humanity, your ancestry, other timelines, lifetimes. If that resonates for you, inner child, The book stops here with me. I breathe and set myself free. I bring into coherence that which had been created through the veils of separation, of trauma loops, trauma patterns, of what hadn't been healed and passed down through the ancestry lineage, bloodlines. I heal those patterns now by remembering them into wholeness again, by forgiving the unforgivable, by speaking the unspoken and the unspeakable once upon a time, believed to be so, and by loving the unlovable, believed to be so, as lovable, as loved, as part of this coherence field now. Softening the armor, the resistance, the excuses, the self-shaming, the blaming, the conclusions, the false conclusions, the erroneous conclusions, like I must have deserved what I got. Maybe I was punished because I wasn't lovable. Maybe I was punished because I wasn't good enough. I have to prove my worth. I have to earn God's love. I have to earn my way. Dissolving these thought forms now, these belief patterns in the subconscious. As we breathe and soften in from the beta brainwave, dropping into the alpha brainwave, as the muscles release the tension, as the nervous system calibrates into this new way of orientation, navigation, way of beingness, through deepening embodied presence and through anchoring that deepening embodied presence and being available to, allowing spaciousness to be available to what arises. To be aware, to allow again enough awareness and spaciousness to become more present and aware, to soften the edges that in previous moments may have jumped into survival, fight, flight, or freeze, disassociation, fawning. And as we deepen with breath coherence, reharmonization, embodied presence, we can anchor more presence to catch yourself in those moments. And instead of going into that reactivity, that nervous system survival strategy through what was developed in childhood, in ancestry, we catch yourself as we bring in more conscious awareness, and instead of the reactivity, we breathe. We soften, we notice. So notice what you're noticing. Notice what is arising in your body, in your cells, in your energy field. Let the emotions come. If tears come, for me, tears move out through my eyes. They're releasing tears of releasing old memory that was held in the cells. Allow your tears, if tears come. Allowingness. We're allowing the flow of life to move through us, rather than hindering it, rather than getting in the way of it, rather than trying to manage that energy, that expression. rather than the one who used to judge. Oh, well, tears mean I'm too vulnerable, or I'm too emotional, or I'm too this, I'm too that. Oh, the ache in the body. Oh, why is this? This is not fair. Why is this happening to me? Feeling victimized by the discomfort of tension. And now recognizing, okay, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. I will bring breath to those parts of myself. Maybe it's a right shoulder. So wherever you may feel an ache or tension, bring your hand there now. And let it receive your warmth. And let it receive your breath. And let it receive your presence. And let it receive your permission to receive the breath, to receive the warmth, to receive the acknowledgement. So we replace the resistance to uncomfortable sensations, the resistance to uncomfortable emotions, the resistance to uncomfortable situations, the resistance to uncomfortable communications. We start to replace that with breath coherence, breath by breath. We give it breath. And in that breath, it opens up more spaciousness. And rather than reacting with contraction, with tension, we start to soften. And our body starts to soften with that invitation of breath, which switches on our parasympathetic nervous system and tells the body, tells the muscles, tells all the systems of the body that I am safe. Even in this sensation, I am safe. Even in this emotion, I am safe. Even in this conversation or communication, I am safe. Even in this level of visibility, I am safe. Even with this amount in my bank account or not in my bank account, I am safe. Even with this level of food in my cupboard or not in my cupboard, I am safe. Even with this situation or relationship, I am safe. Even with the onset of technological advances and AI developments, I am safe. We breathe. We breathe. And technology for me has been a place where I would hold my breath or feel incapable, or it would trigger old traumas around learning new things. And as a child, that was quite traumatic, of feeling that I wasn't able to keep up with the level of what was required of me in school, or just feeling just school in general was quite traumatic. But I was living under a lot of survival, just surviving patterns. So my capacity for learning had been reduced. So now, opening up to receive the capacity, to receive the spaciousness through breath coherence. That softens the reactivity into receptivity. And through that receptivity, a deeper inner compassion, through a deeper inner listening, through a deeper inner awareness and connectivity. And from that spaciousness, from that alignment, attunement, refinement within self, we respond. We respond initially within ourselves by just bringing a little bit more gentleness and kindness. And that may be, for example, if we stick with technology, that maybe we go, okay, this isn't working right now. You know what? I'm going to close down the computer and I'm going to go for a walk. And maybe I'm going to hug a tree, or maybe I'm going to pat my cat or my doggy and have a cuddle and just take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. That is triggering that sense of overwhelm or not enough, or what if this doesn't work out for me, or what if I can't keep up, or what if I'm missing out, or what if it's all too much, or what if I'm too much or not enough. So we breathe. We're not in denial. We're not trying to push any of that away. We breathe with it. So previously, what we may have done is try to numb so that we didn't feel those emotions, those thoughts, because we had identified with them. We thought that's who we were. We believed that's who we were. At one time, I believed the doubts in my head. I believed the criticisms in my mind. I believed the guilt for not feeling like I was getting it right or doing enough or crossing all my T's and dotting all my I's and living up to other people's expectations or what I perceived others needed of me to have my needs met. So we breathe with those aspects of self that lived through another time. And we allow them now to come home into this present moment, to be reparented through a deeper recognition of ourself, as we are expanding our bandwidth of consciousness, our bandwidth of consciousness that has the capacity to be with a broader bandwidth of energies, of frequencies, of experiences, of emotions, and to be able to be with that through awareness rather than identifying with any particular one. We allow it to move through us. Because we have the breath. We have the beautiful, beautiful breath. Always here for us. Always here for us. This beautiful breath, this field, this consciousness field around us that is imbued with consciousness, with breath, with frequencies. How else are we getting our Wi-Fi and our phones? You know, there's so much happening in what looks empty, and yet it's so full. It's so full with spectrums of light that we cannot see through our physical eyes. Spectrums of frequency. If we have a heightened sensitivity, we may be able to feel some of those frequencies. But what about if we could feel them and have the capacity to be with them all without parts of our nervous system or our psyche, our psychology reacting? And knowing that we can breathe whatever energies is here, we can breathe them into coherence, to reharmonize, to alchemize with our inner light, with the remembrance that I am light. I am breathing light. I am breathing consciousness. And I'm releasing any residual resistance, reluctance, fears. I'm allowing that to be reharmonized, breath by breath. And I'm not demanding that it all has to happen now, for life is ever evolving, ever expanding, and with that requires a deepening grounding, a deepening anchoring, to ground it into the lower chakras, to bring in that higher consciousness, or that more expanded width of our consciousness, or higher self, to allow more of our higher self, our authentic essence, our divine spark, to actually ground more and calibrate more through our embodiment, through our nervous system, through our cellular memory, through that DNA activations that are happening that expand and activate more DNA within the quantum field, accessing those spectrums of frequency and energies and remembrances of who we truly are on a much grander scale than we've believed ourselves to be, as we were operating from, a limited perception of self and was a two-strand DNA. It served its purpose. It served its purpose to give us a very, very deep, individualized sense of self. And then we got caught in the beliefs of separation, in the traumas of separation, fragmentation. And now we're being called back into that we can deepen and anchor the capacity to hold and to know that we are unique. Each one of us is a unique expression of source consciousness and energy, as frequency, as resonance. And as we bring more of us here, as we reattune the dissonance, the distortions into more harmonic resonance and coherence, we begin to emanate that energy, that resonance, that frequency. And people feel it around us, and the earth feels it, the animals feel it. In essence, we're becoming more calibrated to our natural self, our organic natural self, an organic timeline, if you like, of what's been called, or I call it as well, New Earth frequency, but really it's just the remembrance of our organic natural essence and way of beingness, and where we're not in conflict with ourself, and we're not disallowing ourselves to receive abundantly from breath, from life, from nature, from our higher self, from source, from the earth below us, from the elements, from the wind, from the sun, from the waters. And we're treating our bodies well, we're treating the earth well, we're treating each other well, because we realize, why would I harm myself? Why would I harm my body? Why would I harm another? That's not loving, that's not kind. And it's just, once we remember and re-remember who we truly are, we come back to that place of like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I forgive the past. I forgive the past versions of me. I forgive the past versions of my parents. I forgive the past. I forgive my ancestry. I forgive my humanity. I forgive my multidimensional aspects in different realms and galaxies and universes. I allow myself to trust this process, to trust myself, to trust, God, if you like, source, to trust this greater intelligence of sacred geometry. Part of this breath coherence is also cohering our energy patterns into the golden ratio, so that our hearts are emanating. If you resonate with my voice in this resonance, there's a calling also into the golden pulse. That we're pulsating, our heart is beating and pulsating this golden frequency of remembrance. And currently I am also anchoring a new platform called the Golden Pulse to gather resonant community. It's been in my field for months now, and I haven't quite been ready. Parts of myself have been reluctant and, to fully embody or to feel embodied enough to bring this through. had to anchor it within myself before I could really start to invite others into it. I have been exploring and playing around with it, and now it's anchoring more and more, which is beautiful, and just so grateful to receive my own golden pulse emanations and anchoring of that level of remembrance and frequency, as the golden ratio, the Fibonacci frequency, Fibonacci golden ratio, sacred geometry, sacred structure, sacred containment for the light. The structure, you can call that the sacred containment. Is like the masculine geometry, structure, and the feminine flow is the spiral, spiraling the light, spiraling the energies of connectivity, of beauty, of sensuality, of that which connects, and the masculine being that which holds through sacred containment, through sacred recognition and respect. And there's a mutual respect and co-weaving through these aspects of in yoga I would speak about it through the bones and the muscles. It's the structural part of the body of our embodiment, and then the feminine is more the fluids, the blood, what moves the synapses, the fluids through the body, and allowing also flexibility, agility, mobility, adaptability. So too much of the masculine becomes rigid, too much of the feminine becomes like the too flexible, over giver, and doesn't have enough structure to contain, to really anchor and ground. So that's definitely something that I've been restructuring in my field big time, to come into more of a sacred balance between my own inner masculine and feminine energies, and to really heal that through my father's line and my mother's line as well, ancestrally, those energies, to harmonize within myself, to heal and reharmonize within myself. Okay, so we're at the top of the hour, my friends, of sacred resonance, of golden spirals being remembered and invited through the breath to anchor into sacred structure through the embodiment, through human expression, through our words, through our energy field. Ole ikile ala kala, hakono ele kine ala kala, okono ele ekine ala kala, akolo ole ekine. Ele ikile ala kala, hakono ele ekine ala kala. Anchoring, grounding, fully here, fully anchored. Feel your feet on the earth, feel your bum on the seat. Declare, acknowledge, affirm, I am here, I am present, I am grounded, I am anchored in my breath, coherence, as presence, as awareness, as allowing, as receptivity, as the I am that I am. And so it is. And so it continues to be, rippling into the field, Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Elekile la kala, hakono elekile la kala, hakolo lo kono. Elekile la kine la kala, hakono elekile. Safe to be here now, safe to be free, safe to allow. I am, I am, I am. And so it is. Okay, so going to close this up now. Thank you for joining. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for being. And I will continue offering these breath coherence circles each week, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. in New Zealand, for the next, so 5 weeks altogether. So there'll be 4 more weeks of it on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I'm also offering, if you're in New Zealand, on the Coromandel in Tairua, I'll be offering in-person breath coherence circles at my my place, which is different to where I am now. Tuesdays 5:15. So message me or DM if you want more information on that. Or good to join me on Facebook, Mary Jo Halligan, if you're on Facebook, and follow me or friend me. And then you can DM me on there or put a message underneath the YouTube channel, and join my Substack. MaryJoHalligan.com is my Substack, or MaryJoHalligan.com/Substack or something. Yeah, and my email. You can see my website down there in the corner, vibrantwellness.nz. So www.vibrantwellness.nz, and email is info@vibrantwellness.nz. And I invite you to have some kind of an exchange for what's been received here. So tune in and just ask yourself, what feels like a resonant exchange for what has been received here. In order to fully receive, there's got to be an energy exchange. That's what we do in this realm. That's what happens with energy that feels aligned, that feels divine, that feels joyful, that feels expansive, that feels soothing in your nervous system. So, of course, that can be dollars. So if you'd like to donate some monetary exchange as a gift, then please do via Wise for international transfer. Use my name, it's Mary Jo Halligan, but use my email actually, divineloveambassador@gmail.com, and my name, my full name, you'll see that account in New Zealand. So, and then just put it as a gift, and your name if you wish, or anonymous, it's up to you. Gratitude, or you can write a beautiful comment, poetic rhyme, a song. You can gift back in some other way gratitude. You can just tell me how you're going to pay it forward, even how you're allowing this to ripple into your field and pay it forward to others. So whatever that exchange is, but just make sure that there's some exchange there for you to really receive what's really here for you, and to let it anchor and land in a way that feels coherent and beautiful and joyful. And I think that's everything. Just really grateful to be here. I'm really grateful that I showed up for me, and that everything in my life, and it's been challenging. It's challenging. These last couple of years have been probably the most intense and challenging, and yet here I am, and yet here you are, and yet here we are. And somehow we move through the challenges. Somehow we remember to breathe. We remember that all is well, and we remember that this too shall pass if we're really in a challenging spot. to cross that threshold from hopeless to hope, to bridge the gaps within our psyche, the gaps within our nervous system, so that it can calibrate as a whole system from a place of I am safe, and to anchor in the present moment, and then to be able to respond from the present moment through an activated expanse of consciousness and awareness. Okay, breath coherence anchors from Mary Jo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, lots of love. Coherent love and joy. Oh, and if you want to join my Facebook page as well, I've got a Facebook group called Harmonic Weavers, stabilizing the new earth grid through joy, love, and coherence. Yeah, that's enough for now. Okay, so see you next week. If you'd like to join next week, I also have events on my Facebook page, Mary Jo Halligan, or sign up for my Substack and you'll get a notification, and then I will you can show up live on the Zoom, or I will continue to stream these live on YouTube as well, so you can just show up to the YouTube if you prefer. Okay, namaste, rippling through the field, this resonance of coherence in training into a deeper anchoring of breath coherence, and so it is.